Welcome to Downpour.com's interview series. I'm Tavia Gilbert, and today it's my pleasure to be speaking with New York Times best-selling author Ann Hood. Thank you so much for joining us for the conversation today, and congratulations on the release of The Obituary Writer, which is such a lovely book. Can you tell us a little bit about The Obituary Writer?
It's interesting because I haven't written a book like this before in which the pieces of it came together in such different ways. I was thinking that when I have to describe how the idea started, all I can think of is that thing that catches lint in the dryer. Different things were coming and my brain was just collecting seemingly disparate ideas. But I was asked to write an obituary for someone I had met once at a dinner party. Of course, at first I said, no, thank you. But apparently in my jubilant mood, I had told him I would do it.
Oh.
I think not realizing he would die suddenly and soon, and now his partner was asking me to do what I had promised. And so I embarked on this, and I have been a fan of obituaries forever, and I even have a favorite obituary writer, the late Robert McG. Thomas, who used to write for the New York Times. But reading them and writing them are quite different, and I was struck by, we focus on dates and degrees and not the person. And so when I wrote this man's, he came to life for me as I talked to people in his life, and I tried to convey that on the page and not focus on just his accomplishments and the number of this and the number of that. And so I thought, what an interesting job that would be, to be an obituary writer who does it in an unorthodox way. So my character kind of sprang from that. And then I was going to my computer, as I do every morning, and it was the anniversary of the day my daughter had died. And the first thing that always comes up on my computer in the email is the Writer's Almanac. And as it was loading, I thought, okay, Garrison, help me today. Send me a poem that will make me feel better. I'm counting on you. And what the day's entry was about was the anniversary of the 1906 earthquake in San Francisco, and I hadn't realized it was the same day that my daughter had died, obviously different years. So I think about earthquakes and how we have so many private ones in our lives where our world is shaken and our foundation is shaken. And then there are those ones that affect the world or hundreds or thousands of people. And so somehow from that came my obituary writer's background. You see what I mean about just this kind of lint that was collecting. And as I began to plot it out and think about it, I felt that it was too one-dimensional. I did not know what I could do to give it the fullness that I wanted. I certainly had a character I liked. I had a situation I liked. I even had a plot, knowing she would be looking for this lost lover. But it still didn't feel rich enough. And then I watched Obama's first inauguration, and it reminded me of Kennedy and the hope of that era. Suddenly, they just seemed to collide, and I thought, we have an era of despair, and now I could have one with hope. And then came the idea of creating a character in 1961.
Listen to the full interview at Downpour.com.